So today I'm doing something that I've wanted to do for a while, which is tapping into the used bike market. If you've not got thousands to spend, but you still want to go out there and have a go with your mates, you still want to go on tours with your mates, you still want to go playing on a Sunday. So where do you go to get a pre-owned bike? I don't think you can beat a bike shop. And I know you pay a bit of a premium going to a bike shop as opposed to a private sale, but it's the added security, it's the warranty, it's the it's the trust. You know, you're going to get a bike that you know has just had a service, or you know is going to have been checked over to make sure it's safe for you. Going playing on a pre-owned bike, I'm going to give it my verdict, and I'd love to know your opinions, thoughts in the comments. Do you always buy brand new? Do you buy second hand? Let me know either way, because I'm always interested. And today you can see where I am. This is my shop of choice. I've bought from these in the past. I really like these guys and I do trust them. I know that if they're going to pass me a bike, I know it's going to be in good shape, and I trust them with that. I'm going to go and have a look at the selection of bikes that they've got inside. I've got a brand new V-Strom, so I want to see if they've got any adventure bikes available on the pre-owned market, and I can see how much they cost in comparison to a new one. I'll put details of the garage in the description below, so make sure you have a look at that. And if you're interested in this bike that I'm going to take out, or any bike that they have, make sure you just come down and have a look at them, because they're brilliant. Tell them I sent you as well. I'm reviewing one of their bikes, so I think it's only right I just let you know a little bit about them. So they do sell brand new bikes. They sell Royal Enfields, they sell Benellis, they sell Royal Alloy, and that's just to name but a few. The link at the bottom is, or in the description, is going to be to the website, so you can have a look at what new stock they've got in as far as new bikes go. You can also see what pre-owned bikes they've got in there as well, and they've got some absolute crackers. I've already had a look myself, so I've got an idea of which bike I want to take out today, but you'll have to carry on watching the video to see that. Here is the Honda XL1000 Varadero in grey and black. Nice looking bike, but give me your views in the comments. Got the twin exhaust under the seat, which I think is really good, in keeping with this bike. And the rear disc brake, we have got a Nissan single. This also comes with the centre stand, which wasn't an option. I think when these first come out, it didn't have that. And we've got some Givey crash bars that are being installed. Quite common for these bikes to be taken off-road. Quite a lot of YouTubers green laning them, which is a surprise because it's quite a heavy bike. But for me, if you're doing that, you need to have those engine bars on. It's a must, or you're going to damage it. Front of the bike, we've got some Dame Edna glasses for headlamps, and we've got some spotlights as well, which are good again if you're taking it off-road. Front brakes, we've got twin discs Nissans, and they are good. They stop the bike as they should. And this is a 996cc, delivers around 95 brake horsepower, and it's plenty. Keep up with your mates on this bike, no problem. I love it. What we've got dials wise, we've got the old style speedo, we've got a rev meter, and we've got some digital bits and bobs at the top, including mileometer, speedo. You've got a clock and an engine temperature. Added wind protection there, it's really good. You'll see when I get on the motor. Key to on, and we've got our, and you can hear how smooth it and how well it's all working. There's no horrible smoke coming out the back So this is the first time I've actually ridden, not just this bike, but it's the first time I've ever ridden one of these Varaderos. And I've got to say, the initial impressions are really good. You know, considering this isn't a brand new bike, it has got a couple of years on it, but it's still really, really sweet to ride. And I can only put that down to Honda's reliability, because the engine sounds really nice and sweet. The exhaust sounds really good. The seat is really comfortable as well. I've got to say it. Genuinely think this seat is one of the nicest I've sat on for a while. There is a bit of a loyal following for this bike, as I've seen on YouTube. There's still people green laning these things. You're getting a hell of a lot of bike for the money, hell of a lot. My backside is definitely in its happy place now. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. I thought I'd be getting on this bike going, oh, do you know what? Old bike this. Oh yeah, not keen on it. Dead clunky. Don't like it. Feels dead heavy. It's not comfortable. Gears are rubbish. Thought I'd be very much like that, because that's how I remember bikes that I used to own years ago. But I can honestly say it's just not the case with this bike. The engine feels really nice and smooth. The gear changes, it's going into gear with no fuss whatsoever. It's lovely and comfortable. Let's get on the motorway, give it a little go, see how we get on. Still got it. This bike has certainly still got it. I'm doing 70 miles an hour now, and it's barely over 3,500 revs. I mean, that is, well, that's nothing. The engine just sounds like it's idling at the minute, and I'm doing 70 miles an hour. Got a bit of a breeze today, nothing too windy, but it's not really affecting me. I can feel a slight breeze on my shoulders, but that's it. My head is completely protected by the wind protection in front of us. I'm not feeling any wind at all on my hand there at all. I think the wind comes in about here, but it is shooting straight over my head, so that for me is an absolute winner. This is one of the most comfortable bikes I've been on the motorway. Let's get off here. I don't need to do any more motorway. This bike it's awesome on the motorway. So it's going to be awesome motorway, dual carriageways, you name it. It's going to be comfortable, because this bike can sit at 70 miles an hour on barely 3,500 revs, and it's in its happy place. It's not struggling in the slightest. If you look after this bike, I'm sure you would have years and years and years of motoring, because by the sounds of the engine, it sounds like it's barely ran in. We'll do a little bit of a stand-up test, because it is an adventure bike. Now, that for me is really nice. The bar positioning and where the foot pegs are is nice for it to do a bit of a stand-up. And as I've already mentioned, there's quite a lot of green laning gets done on these bikes. Quite a lot indeed. Here's one thing I struggle with a big bike: making yourself go backwards when you've not got a lot of leverage. So because of the wide seat, as I've said, I'm either that foot down or that foot down, but I'm certainly not both. So getting it to go backwards is a bit of a chore, but actually once you get the wheels moving, that's actually not too bad at all. Yeah, it's not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, considering we're even on a bit of a slight hill here. When they go out and they try and buy the biggest and best and most expensive bike they can afford, and sometimes they're crippling themselves financially. If you've got the money to go and buy the biggest and best, fair play to you. But if you've not, then consider something like this, because it is different. You're not going to be one of those on the car park where there's 10 other people with exactly the same bike, which unfortunately is what you get if you go for one of the big brand new bikes. There's usually a couple of them, whereas this, you will stand out and you will be able to keep up with your mates, and you will be able to go on those long distance tours with your mates, and you'll probably be the most comfortable person there, or certainly the one who's not losing all the money on depreciation anyway, because you've been smart and bought a sensible pre-owned bike. So I'm going to head back now into Moto to drop this off. This bike's going to be going straight into their showroom, so if you're interested in this or any other bike for that matter, definitely pay them a visit. For a small fellow as I am, this bike, I thought it was going to be too big for me. I had a horrible thought that, having had the guys at Intermoto let me take this out for a test ride, I was going to go, oh, I can't, I'm not big enough. But no, it doesn't seem to be as tall as the V-Strom, as I've said, so that's good. Anyway, so let's recap before I drop this bike off. What we've got here is, we have got a modern day classic adventure bike. There are not loads of them knocking about, which is good, because it means that you're not going to be one of 20 of them on the car park, which I like. It means you're going to be a bit more individual. The bike works really well, goes through the gears well, the engine's sweet, the exhaust sounds beautiful, as you can hear. We've got that lovely V-twin engine, and we've got Honda's reliability. I do love all this stuff here as well. I do genuinely love how this is all set out here in front. Do like it. And the wind protection's brill. It's awesome on the motorway. It's considerably cheaper than going buying a brand new bike. I'm back from my test ride. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really nice bike.